Hi, Year 10. Okay, for those who were in the other day, I came around during challenge time and I gave you this pack in a folder, and you're welcome to work in that pack or you're welcome to work on the online version. It's all the same. And of course, if you weren't in the other day, then what you've got online is this History GCSE, and it's focusing on the America course, okay, because you will have some sort of assessment or exam on that in the summer, as it says by here, okay. On the front cover here, we've got a picture of what we can assume, to be an immigrant family looking across, I suppose, the water towards New York, and that's obviously just kind of set the feeling for some of the work that you're going to be doing on this course for the summer exam. Okay, so what do you actually need to do then? Well, hopefully a lot of this work will be straightforward for you. The first lesson, for some of you who have done the online learning before, you will recognise these names, I hope. Okay, so a bit of revision for some of you, and for others, well, then you'll be introduced to this for the first time. Okay, so it's called the Sacco and Vanzetti case, a case where these two men were arrested for committing a particular type of crime, which you'll find out about when you read through this, and you'll also read why it's become such an important part of the course, because it kind of shows us what some Americans thought about immigrants at the time. Okay, when you've read through that, your first activity is to do this. It's called a backwards test. Okay, so you read through the information. Now I've given you the answer here, so you have to come up with a question. And the good thing about this is sometimes there can be more than one question which will work for each of these. Okay, so for example, if the answer is 107 witnesses, the question could be how many people provided Sacco and Vanzetti with an alibi. Okay, an alibi is, a defence, an explanation of where they were at the time and why they couldn't have committed the crime. Okay, when you've done that, and I imagine that should take perhaps 15 minutes. You've got some information here about the evidence against, why they were guilty, why they could have been guilty rather, and then the evidence in their defence, why they might have been innocent. Okay, and using that, what I want you to do is to see whether you can tick some of that information and put it in this agree box for this argument. Sacco and Vanzetti were executed because they were guilty. So obviously what that means is, when you read through this, summarise some of it, and put it into this box here. Okay, and whether you disagree with that. Alright, and the same with the other statements. So using this information and this information, try your best to fill out these boxes, okay? And then the final thing I'd like you to do is just think about this, okay? So after learning about this case, can you think of reasons why some people at the time wanted to close the door to immigrants, alright, to stop immigration? It should be quite straightforward. You can put your answer in the door or on the side here or across it all, doesn't matter. If you're doing it on paper, you obviously write it in, and if you're doing it online, then you might need to insert a text box here. Okay, any issues, email myself, and I think, for one lesson that should be quite straightforward for you to do. Best of luck with it, Year 10. As I said, any problems, just email me. Okay, thanks.